So, you want to be a pilot. You've pictured it, right? That incredible view from the cockpit, the feeling of freedom. But then there's that one big question that kind of snaps you back to reality. What's it really going to cost? I mean, all in. For most people, this is the biggest hurdle, the thing that stops them in their tracks. So in this explainer, we're not just going to break down the number. We're going to build a smart plan, a real strategy to get you past it. Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. You're looking at $15,000 to $20,000, and honestly, sometimes more. I know that number can feel like a giant brick wall, but here's the thing, it's not. It's actually a bunch of smaller, much more manageable pieces. And the first step to tearing down that wall is figuring out what those pieces are. So let's do just that. Let's decode this thing. The key to a smart budget is realizing it's not one giant bill. Nope, it's a bunch of different expenses, and you're about to see that a couple of them are way bigger than all the others combined. Take a look at this. It's pretty clear, right? The lion's share of your money, we're talking like 80%, goes to just two things: renting the airplane and paying your instructor. Everything else, it's just a small slice of the pie. And this is so important because it tells us exactly where we need to focus to save some serious cash. All right, let's drill down into the specifics. When you rent a plane, you're paying for what's called Hobbs time. Basically, the meter starts running the second that engine turns on. And check out that fee for the practical test. That's your check ride. There aren't a ton of examiners out there, these DPEs, so that price has been going up and up. Getting a handle on these numbers is really step one to getting them under control. All right, you with me? Because this is the good stuff. We've taken apart the bill. Now let's build your toolkit for a leaner budget. These are the real actionable strategies you can use to save money. And the best part is you don't have to sacrifice an ounce of quality in your training. Okay, your first big decision is your training path. Are you going to go with a flexible Part 61 style or a more structured Part 141 school? Now, here's the thing you need to know. The Part 141 schools will tell you they have a lower minimum hour requirement. And on paper, they do. But the reality? Almost everyone, no matter which path they take, ends up needing around 50 to 70 hours to get good. So here's the takeaway. Don't get hung up on that minimum number. Focus on finding a great instructor, not the type of syllabus. And that leads to your next choice, a big flight school or a one-on-one independent instructor. A school is going to have more planes, maybe more flexible scheduling. But an independent instructor, they can often give you super personalized training for less money because, well, they don't have all that overhead. It's really that classic trade-off. Do you want more resources or a potentially lower price tag? Okay, listen up, because if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. It's going to sound totally backwards, but you have to spend money faster to save money in the long run. I know, crazy, right? But it's 100% true. The secret isn't the hourly rate. It's how often you fly. It all comes down to one word: consistency. So why does that work? Well, think of it this way. Flying is like learning a language or an instrument. It's a perishable skill. If you take these long breaks between lessons, your next lesson is just spent trying to remember what you did last time. You're literally paying to relearn stuff. It's like paying for the same lesson twice. But if you fly often and do a little chair flying or studying on your days off, you keep that momentum. You build on what you know instead of starting over, and that means you'll finish in fewer hours. Here's another super easy win. You do not need to learn in a shiny, brand new airplane with a fancy glass cockpit. A well-maintained older trainer like a classic Cessna 172 flies just fine, and it can rent for a lot less per hour. We're talking savings that really add up over the course of your training. Okay, what about ground school? You know, learning all the book stuff? Well, you could pay your flight instructor their full flying rate to sit on the ground and teach you about weather and regulations. Or you could do it the smart way, live online ground instruction. And honestly, the benefits are a no-brainer. It's cheaper, it's way more flexible with your schedule, you can zero in on just the stuff you're struggling with, you do it from home, no commute. It's just a massive win-win for your time and your bank account. Simulators can be your best friend, if you use them right. They're amazing for practicing things like emergency procedures or getting the hang of instrument flying without burning expensive fuel. But, and this is a big but, do not try to learn your basic landings on a sim. The feel is just off. It can build bad habits that you'll just have to pay your instructor to unteach you in the real plane. So use them, but use them smart. All right, so we've found a bunch of ways to shrink that total cost. Awesome. So for the next leg of our flight plan, let's talk about how we actually pay for the hours that are left. First things first, do not assume you have to foot this whole bill yourself. There is so much scholarship money out there, it's incredible. Big organizations, smaller groups, they give away millions of dollars every single year to aspiring pilots. You just have to do the work and apply. Seriously, even a small scholarship could pay for your headset or your exam fees. It's free money. Go get it. Okay, this is a big one. I need you to hear me on this. How you pay your school is just as important as what you're paying. I'm going to say this clearly. Never, ever, ever pay for all of your training up front. I've heard too many horror stories of flight schools going out of business overnight and taking students' money with them. The absolute safest way to do it is to pay as you go for each lesson. It keeps you in control and protects your investment. So we've talked about a ton of ways to save money. But as we come in for a landing on this topic, I want to shift our thinking just a little bit. The goal here isn't just to find the cheapest way to do this. It's about being smart. Because really, at the end of the day, what are we doing here? We're not just trying to get a plastic card in our wallet for the absolute rock bottom price. This is an investment. It's an investment in a skill that demands you be proficient, confident, and most importantly, safe. And this quote just nails it. Don't go cheap on your instructor. Don't cut corners on your studying. You have to remember, the investment isn't really in the airplane rental. The real investment is in you. Becoming a safe, competent pilot, that's the actual goal. So as you start planning your budget and get ready for this incredible journey, I want to leave you with this one question. The license, that's just the starting line. The real reward, the real prize, is mastering the art of flying. So, are you ready to invest in becoming a truly great pilot?